Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Rank Them. I am joined by a very, very special guest. He is a British actor, an absolute legend for coming on. I am joined by Adam Pearson. Adam, how are you doing, my friend?
I am very good, thank you, sir. Thank you very much for having me on. I've come with my usual mascot intro, uh,
Yeah.
and yeah, let's rank some wrestlers. Try
Yes.
saying that. I nearly said that wrong there, but I will move on.
But yeah. So obviously, before we get started, I wanted to have a quick conversation with you. So my first question is, what got you into wrestling?
Oh, I'd always been aware of it. It'd always been on my periphery. And
Yeah.
my best friend Matthew had a few of the old Silvervision VHS tapes.
Mm.
And we watched the Hogan one, the Warrior one, and the Bulldog one. And I
Yeah.
was like, yeah, I like this. It's cool, but I didn't have access to it. We didn't have Sky.
Yeah.
And then when I turned 14, I managed to find a friend of my dad's that would tape it to me on the Friday night and the Saturday morning,
Mm.
because Raw used to be on Fridays and then SmackDown was on Saturday morning on
Yeah.
Sky One, and then run it round. And then I
Mm.
just became hooked. I think it was the Survivor Series Deadly Game
Yeah.
that hit me in.
Mm.
And it's a bit of fun, it's a bit of pageantry. And I think now, particularly with the rise of social media and everyone having an opinion,
Yeah.
I think we forget to enjoy it. And I think
Yes.
everyone's become like a booker or an owner
Yeah.
in their head, and everyone thinks they either know better
Mm.
or makes arbitrary lists of what women have the best asses
Yeah.
in wrestling. I hate that guy so much.
Yeah. I honestly don't understand why some people do that. It's very degrading for especially for the wrestler as well, if they
Because
are going to do that.
who's the audience? What are you
Yeah,
trying to prove?
exactly.
I,
Exactly.
I,
Who's
I,
the audience for it?
idiots. And we're probably going to say some things on here that aren't going to be kind of like we can't put everyone in main event.
No, we
Is
can't.
how
We
I
can't put everyone in main eventer. Um,
is
um,
how I frame it.
yeah, exactly. How exactly that? You can't expect everyone to be put into a main event to be the main event. You can't have 96 people. Like I said, there's 96 of this roster. You can't expect all of them to be a main eventer.
No, but I think it's important to highlight that no matter where we put them, to get to this level
Yeah,
of pro wrestling, you don't just walk into
no,
AEW and sign paperwork.
exactly. So this goes into the actual tier listing that we've got. So for the different, so because we're talking about people here, I've changed them around. So for our takeover one, we had different tier names, but because we are talking about a roster, I've changed them. So our top tier is main eventer. Second tier is potential main eventer. We've got mid carder, lower mid carder, and jobber. I don't like the assumption of someone being a jobber, but we are probably going to look at some of these and kind of go, yeah, maybe they are, but I could have said undercard or undercarder, but everyone knows what jobber means.
Yeah, it's a universal term. I
Yeah,
don't necessarily think it's a disrespectful one either,
no,
because even the jobbers know that they're there to play a role.
mm,
For example, Akira Tozawa knows
mm,
exactly what his role is.
yeah, oh yeah. So let's get into this. So first up on our list is Aaron Solo. So I've got his actual roster, the roster page up in front of me. So He has his 2021 overall record is 11 wins and 16 losses, and his career across AEW is 11 and 29. His wins haven't really started. They only started coming when he joined the factory, and that's only recent. So he has a singles record of 3-7, a tag team record of 6-7, and a trios record of 2-1. So he's a great talent. Like he's really good and everything like that. But I don't see him any higher than lower mid card.
I was going to say, right now, the few definitive statements I can make are Aaron Solo works at AEW.
Yeah.
And I think at the moment, you're right, he's low on mid. But he has just recently joined the factory. And that's pushed his wins significantly higher.
Yes.
So if they keep him in the factory, but also don't have him become a body in a stable, and let him still be Aaron Solo.
Yeah,
I reckon in 6 months' time we'll have to reassess where we put him.
Oh yeah, of course. I get like with every roster you look at, there is a potential for people to move up these. Like we could revisit this in about 6 months' time, and he's probably mid carder, like potential main eventer.
Yeah,
you know, like it's an ever changing thing with wrestling. Like some people might get the push and some people not. It's definitely wrestling is a revolving door of talent. And I feel like that with AEW as well. They have such a revolving door of new, different talents. Which, it's absolutely insane. So what we'll do is we'll go through all the men's first, and then we'll do the women's roster as well. So we'll add them in. So next one, we've got Alan Angels of the Dark Order. So he come in as an enhancement talent to begin with before joining the Dark Order. He was recruited by Brody Lee. He's actually on this list. So he was recruited by Brody Lee, and after that he was tagging with 10. He's done some of the 5-man. He was part of that 10-man. Was he part of it? No. But he was part of that big entrance that they did for Fight for the Fallen. He's got his 2021 record is 10-14. His career is 18-27. He's only won one singles match this year. Tag team record is 3-6, and then a trios is 3-1. I believe Alan Angels was good on the indies. I don't remember watching anything of him particularly on the indies, but him coming into AEW was a good get for them, and putting it into the Dark Order as well is a great move, because God, the direction that they've gone with the Dark Order, from this cult to like these lovable baby faces, Alan Angels fits right in there.
He does. When the Dark Order first came in, it was shockingly bad. I'm like, what is this? It's like you went to Lidl and bought their version of the Wyatt family. Whereas when like Brody Lee came in, and it became like quite lovable, quite comedic, or almost a parody on Vincent Kennedy McMahon, I was like, I can really, really get behind this.
So so going back to that, it was sorry to cut you off, but back to what you were saying there. It's, yes, they were a bit goofy. Like it was like a cult leader and everything like that, because they were talking about the Exalted One. And then when he come in, they did start doing this they started to get more fanfare through BTE. I think BTE has massively helped the Dark Order.
VT is hilarious. I love being in the elite so much. It's so funny. The reason it's funny is it's self-aware.
Yes.
It knows that the wrestling industry is a ridiculous industry and leans heavily into it.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And so that's really true as well. I'm gonna go mid card for this.
Yeah, I can agree with you on that. I definitely think Alan is a mid carder. At the minute, it's again, we could be looking at this in 6 months' time, and he could be a potential main eventer. Like he could break off, and he could probably have a TNT title run. You never know what happens with in AEW because their plans are so locked in as well. I think that's what I enjoy the product more compared to Raw and SmackDown really, is because their plans don't feel like they've been on the fly.
No, they never rewrite Dynamite the morning of or 2 hours before, which happens all the time. And particularly at the moment, I think Vince McMahon has very archaic and dangerous ideas of what makes main eventers.
Yeah. So next up, we've got another person from the Dark Order. We've got Alex Reynolds. So they were originally Alex Reynolds and Silver were brought in as enhancement talent until they joined the Dark Order. They were on Dark a few times before joining the Dark Order. Once they're in the Dark Order, their stock elevated massively, I believe.
Over like Rover once they joined the Dark Order.
Yeah. And Alex Reynolds, we talk about how great John Silver is. But we'll get to John Silver anyway. But Alex Reynolds is really underrated in that tag team.
Oh, he is. Well, that happens in like a lot of tag teams. Like someone's got to be the Jannetty, but that doesn't mean that Jannetty also wasn't astonishingly good. It's like with the Hardy Boys, everyone's watching Jeff doing like backflips off skyscrapers and shit, and going, "Oh my God, Jeff Hardy!" And then no one went, "Hang on, Matt's really good."
Yeah,
we've all forgotten that Matt might be the better technical wrestler.
I believe if they were given the right time, the right story, I believe Reynolds and Silver could be tag champs by the end of the year.
Oh, I want that. Who do they beat?
Young Bucks.
I think.
I feel like they should beat the Bucks.
But then the Young Bucks, I want them to be FTR. I want them to be the biggest bastards in the company, and that's FTR in the tag division. They're a great tag team, but they are bastards, aren't they? They are kind of, we will break you down.
They are the old school. They've got the old school mentality, which I believe AEW needs sometimes, because there is a lot of flippy shit, really, in AEW, but they do it the right way. In a sense, like
they come out, they slow it down, and I'm like, we will break you down like a child's Lego, and you will like it.
Yeah. So I believe we should put. I believe Reynolds is mid-carder or even potential main eventer.
I don't think potential main event. You've got to go some, particularly as a tag team.
Yeah.
To get there, I'm gonna go top of the mid card.
Top of the mid card. Alan, move out the way. There we go. So we move on to Andrade El Idolo. So he come in with not that much of fanfare. It was in the Vicky Guerrero, and it just didn't work for me.
No. It's like, oh wait, you're sort of Mexican, and your husband was sort of Mexican.
Yeah.
Ex-husband was sort of Mexican. This makes perfect sense. No, it
just didn't. It just didn't work for me. But now he's with Chavo Guerrero, I'm enjoying it.
I am so in. And remember, I've forgotten how much I like Chavo Guerrero.
Yeah, I think
not Kerwin White. Kerwin White could do one. But Chavo Guerrero.
Yeah.
We'll leave that conversation there. Let's get
political. Unless we don't, we don't want to get too heated about that. But I agree. I agree with you there. It was bringing her in to introduce him was probably maybe a good idea, but I didn't particularly enjoy it. It wasn't. But then he had his first match against Matt Sydal, and I was instantly hooked. And then this Chavo thing, the Death Triangle feud, I'm instantly hooked. I mean, we're getting Pac versus Andrade all out.
I know. I'm in. I mean, put him as Vicky, get a little bit of heel heat behind him. Yeah. Could we have done it better? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But we'll park it. Whoever thought the first match to be against Matt Sydal is a genius.
Yeah.
It was so cleverly done.
Because
Matt Sydal can keep up.
Yeah.
He can absorb the loss because he is one of the guys who knows what his role is.
Yeah.
And I reckon they just sat him down and went, okay, Matt, get your shit in, and then put him over. And Matt went, cool.
I think they went about 15 minutes, and it was liquid wrestling.
Yeah, it was, but no rest holds, none of this Skin Rock Island nonsense.
No.
So I say unreservedly potential main event.
Yeah. I can agree to that, potential main eventer. So we move on to Angelico of the Hybrid 2. Angelico and Jack Evans have been there since the beginning of AEW. He has a career win-loss record of 25 and 32. His 2021 overall is 13 and 15. Singles is 9 and 6. Tag team is 4-4, and then trios is 0-3. Most of these have been on Dark. I would like to see the Hybrid 2 on Dynamite a bit more.
Me too. I like watching their work on Dark, but Angelico's biggest problem, and this goes back to just the dynamics of how tag teams work.
Yeah.
His biggest downfall is that he isn't Jack Evans.
Yeah.
I don't want to be a dick. He's still great in the ring.
Yeah.
But Marty Jannetty, baby.
Exactly. He isn't Jack Evans, which is the saddest part. But again, he's absolutely insane. Some of the submissions that he does, I want to see him against Jack Sabre Jr.
Oh my word! Don't put that idea. Why have you said that? It's not going to happen. I'm going to be sad.
I'm going to put this out there now. AEW New Japan, if you're listening right now, give me Angelico versus Zack Sabre Jr. at Full Gear, please. Please and thank you.
Yeah.
Even this is on the buy-in.
Ultimate submission match.
Yeah, ultimate submission match.
Fight pit. Put it in the fight pit. Still that gimmick from NXT.
Oh, yes.
And do it in there.
Imagine those two in a fight pit. Go.
And we're starting to throw in for good just because screw you NXT.
Yeah. This whole NXT situation, then the whole news that come out with the NXT situation, I'm just it's deflating because I love NXT.
Yeah. It's a shame that Vince doesn't.
No. So I believe Angelico is bottom of mid card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to go there. I debated lower, like I debated putting him one lower, but then I was like, no, because that's insanely unfair. Because anyone that we think could hang with Zach, is deserves a little bit more.
So next up, we've got Anthony Bowens of the Acclaimed. So his 2021 record is 16-6. His career is 24-9. Hasn't got a singles record, but his tag team record is 14-3 and a trios record of 0-1. They come in. The Acclaimed come in. They were thrown. I didn't know this, but they were thrown together. They weren't actually supposed to be a tag team.
No, they're like a Franken team. They're like, you two, get over here. Can you tolerate each other? I don't care. Go out there, you're a tag team now.
It's like it's like Big Show and Chris Jericho. Those two were thrown together. Like Big Show and Kane and all that. Like they were all thrown together because they weren't doing anything. But they've been, ever since they started in AEW, they've been together. Him and Max Caster have been together.
They have.
Anthony Bowens doesn't get enough credit.
Oh, he's about to. I reckon those singles wins are going to shoot right up over the next 4 weeks.
Yeah, over the next couple of months. I would like to see more from him. I would like to see more from Anthony Bowens, maybe in a singles capacity, maybe in the tag team with Max Caster, but I would like to see more of him. That they're still on Dark and Elevation. Maybe even they're going to end up on a Rampage as well, because now they've got 4 shows that they can put these people on. Yeah, and there is so much potential for talent to grow.
There is, and there's so much potential to do things. Like I pitched this idea, about a year and a half ago now, with Luke Owen on the Friday podcast. Imagine if AEW did a tag team version of the G1 across all of their shows. How much of a spotlight guys like Bowens would get? Just to go out there and do their thing.
Exactly. So going back to this, I feel he's top or lower mid card.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah. So
I would agree. You could slide him onto Rampage really seamlessly, but could he hold an audience on Dynamite with the likes of the Young Bucks, Death Triangle in there? I'm not sure.
I'm not too sure. So we move on to now one of my favorite guys to come into AEW, coming in from our neck of the woods, Anthony Ogogo. I loved everything he's done so far. Apart from the loss to Cody, I've loved every single thing Anthony Ogogo has done. He's
great, isn't he? He's such a cocky British prick. And the thing is, because he's so like we all know a guy like that, right? We all know a guy who just has intolerable amounts of swagger.
Yes.
But you're not going to say anything unless he knocks you out.
Yeah. He's bringing, this is the other thing as well, because he's bringing in the boxing background with him as well, which is awesome. The fact that he's coming in from another sport. He trained under Cody, he's trained under QT. He's put in the work, and you don't see a lot of people like Ogogo that come in and not put the work in. And
no, you don't. And boxers tend to transition rather well.
Yeah.
Into wrestling, even historically. Like Mark Merrow won the Golden Gloves. Corbin has a really strong background. In boxing, and if you look, and also to give you an idea, because I know when people say, "Oh yeah, he's coming to put the work in," it sounds a bit cliche now.
Mm.
Compare what Anthony Ogogo's doing to Tyson Fury.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. There's like different levels of. I believe Fury only had like 6 weeks worth of training for that match in Super Showdown.
Yeah.
And even then, it was just rest holds, a little kip up spot that he used the ropes for, and it was just, I don't know. I didn't particularly enjoy it. But back to Ogogo, I believe is a potential main eventer.
Oh, all the way.
And this is not my British bias going in. I just think he's so charismatic as well. He's been off with this eye injury, which is fine because we already knew about the history of his eyes already. But he's back in the UK as well, like now, because he had to have the surgery. But when he goes back, he's going to go on a massive tear. I could see him going for Cody again. Him getting his win back and then going up to challenging Miro.
Oh, that would be brutal.
Yeah. So yeah, Anthony Ogogo, potential main eventer.
Love it. Completely agree. And Anthony, if you're watching and you want to get coffee with two cool lads while you're getting your stuff sorted.
Yeah, hit me up. I follow you on Twitter, so hit me up. So we'll move on to 1/3 of the Gun Club, Austin Gunn. So he has a 2020, so his 2021 overall record is 11-1. His career is 27-2. He has a singles record this year of 1-1, tag team record of 2-0, and a trios record of 8-0. I love Austin Gunn's finisher. The quick draw.
Every now and then, I look at a finisher and think, I wouldn't take that.
Yeah.
It rarely happens that this is a finisher I would not want to be on the receiving end of, because it looks like I'd be doing most of the work.
Yeah. It's one of those, I always say this, a finisher is very good if there's no room to counter. And the quick draw, there is zero room to counter that.
No, what do you do?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, no. It's like Tony Storm's new finisher, Storm 1. Or the Ruby Cutter, I think it used to be called. Her trainer used to call it the Ruby Cutter. There is no room to counter. And no. I think that's great in a wrestler if you have a finisher that's zero room to counter. Even if it's not effective in the execution of it, but if they have to kick out of it, you're doing something right. I believe.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and if you can see it and think, oh, he might not get up. He might be dead.
Yeah. I would say mid-carder, or no, sorry, top of lower mid-carder, because I'd love to see him on Dynamite a bit more.
Yeah, I want to see all the Gun stuff on Dynamite more.
Yeah, top of lower mid-carder, because I think Austin Gunn's a hell of a talent. And I mean, even just look at his dad, you know, it's a testament of what he can do, really. I think I might have left him off of this because he wasn't on the roster page for some reason. Billy Gunn. I don't know why. But we move on to.
Yeah, I put Billy Gunn in. I put Billy Gunn in the red card for the record. I think just his name alone just gives him that little bit of yeah. So what his photo might not be there, his spirit is.
Yeah. So we move on to arguably one of the easiest ones for me to do here, I believe, Brandon Cutler. Unfortunately, he's a jobber.
He is absolutely. We love you, Brandon, but yeah.
Yeah. So he's got a singles record of 2-5, a tag team record of 0-0, and a trios record of 0-2. But his career record is 9 wins, 32 losses, and 2 draws. I feel so bad for Cutler. He's the executive stooge and all that for the elite, and he comes out looking like a young boy.
But he does it so well. He fills that role really, really well. He is the definition of what good enhancement talent is.
Yeah.
Go out there, eat a pinfall, but make them look, make everyone look awesome. And yeah, if he, and I know we put him in job, and I agree, but every time you do or have these conversations or do these listings, you have to ask, would I miss him if he wasn't there?
Yeah.
And I would miss, and if Brandon Cutler wasn't there, I think I would.
Yeah, I would as well. Because he's there to fill a role which I don't think anyone else could fill that role. Yes, you've got Michael Nakazawa there, but I don't think he could do that role as good as Brandon Cutler.
No, technically, I think Nakazawa could. Though I find Brandon Cutler unreasonably charming. Unreasonably charming.
Yeah. I think what we'll do is, because obviously, just because I feel like putting someone in a jobber role it doesn't feel. We'll put him bottom of lower mid carder. We'll put him bottom of lower mid card for now. For now, we might have a bit of a reshuffle. So we move on to the Machine, Brian Cage. He's got a 20. I think that's supposed to say 2021. So I might not be. So he's got 13 singles wins, 3 losses, tag team record of 6-2, and a trios record of 2-0. His 2021 overall is 21-5, and his career is 36-8. I love Brian Cage.
I am so scared of Brian Cage.
He's one of those people that he's probably not. I always feel like him, Bobby Lashley, and Brock Lesnar, even though they're shorter than me, they're always the ones that could eat me.
He's got that real intensity in the ring that you can't fake. You can't act intense.
No.
Which is why he scares me slightly. Because I'm sure outside of those ropes, he's a lovely rope. But once he gets in those ropes, and you can see it in his body language, he's just like, okay, time to go to work.
Yeah, it is. It's the case of no business. Like I'm just going to eat you alive.
Yeah, just like, and if you can't keep up, well, that's be you.
It's the match against Hangman at Double or Nothing is the one that I always go back to the most, because that one really showcased how well he did, how well he can be, and how good he can be. We've obviously seen stuff with him in Impact, but we're talking about his AEW career here. I believe now he's breaking away from Team Taz. I believe he's a potential main eventer.
I wholeheartedly agree. Like you said, that Hangman Page match could have left him dangerously exposed. Yeah. But it didn't.
No.
And he did very well. And now we're going to work out, once he breaks away, who does he go against to sort of re-establish himself. And I think either getting that win back from Mox, like a good, strong win over John Moxley, instantly elevates him.
Yeah.
Or throw him in with Miro.
Yeah. I mean, there's a huge. You could have a potential fatal 4-way feud there. You could have Miro, Brian Cage, Eddie Kingston, and possibly a Go-Go. You could have like a 4-way feud there. Within like the next year, you could probably see that kind of come to fruition.
That would be great.
So we move on to Flying Brian Pillman Jr. The Varsity Blondes. He's got a singles record of 2-1, a tag team record of 16-4, a trios record of 1-2. His 2021 career overall is 20-9, and his career is 24-21. I enjoy Brian Pillman Jr. I never had the pleasure of watching his dad as I was growing up or anything like that, but I've gone back and watched some of his matches, and you can definitely see he has the same intensity as his dad within his matches.
Oh yeah. Brian Pillman was one crazy motherfucker. He nearly shot Stone Cold.
I know.
What's all that about? Like, when I disagree with someone, I text them.
Yeah.
What's your problem, Brian?
I think it was at the time a gun was like the best communication.
Yeah.
I enjoy the Varsity Blondes. The addition of Julia Hart in the past couple of months has been great for them, because it fits the whole college like mentality of them being like these college football players and all that. It's not the gimmick, but it's...
Well, it is. They're frat boys, aren't they? I think that's the gimmick. I think they're and which is part of me wants to be like, you're the guys that were beating me up in college, jobbers. Yeah. But then part of me is like, but I want to hang out with you. Mid-card.
But like he seems so likable in interviews as well. I watched the one that Sean Ross Sapp did at Double or Not, the one at Double or Nothing that he did with the Varsity Blondes. He just seems so likable. His appearances, his appearances on the Sammy vlog as well. Like, he just feels he's so charismatic as well.
And he seems like he's one of the good guys, isn't he? There aren't that many kind of good guys in wrestling, and I think he might be one of them. Yeah,
I could say he's mid-carder.
Yeah, I agree.
With the potential 6 months down the line, potential main eventer.
Oh yeah. No doubt.
So we move on to Cash Wheeler of FTR and the Pinnacle. So we've got his overall. So he's got a tag team record of 6-0, his trio record is 3-0. His 2021 overall is 11-1, and his career is 24-4. Cash Wheeler is so good.
I know. I love FTR. I love Cash. I love Dax. Not just because they both follow me on Twitter and reply to me in a tweet burying Louis Jangle. They're just so good. They're just old school. The old school tag team wrestling that I miss. As we said earlier, we've got a lot of kind of young bucks.
Yeah.
You know, Austin Gunn, Death Triangle. We've got a lot of kind of flipper guys, and sometimes just to cut through, you need those guys that go, nope, gonna break your legs. Let's see you do your flips now.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see you do those flips now after I've broken your leg. I believe we should just put him straight in the main eventer.
Yeah, straight up there. Very
straight up there, main eventer.
Rarely do tags main event, but FTR do.
So we got Chavo. I put Chavo Guerrero in this because he was on the AEW roster page. And I've just realised the picture I've used is cut off his head. So, guys, I do apologise if you're watching. It is cut off his head. But if we look at what he's done so far, if he gets into the ring, I would say mid carder, but for now, bottom of lower mid card.
Yeah,
because he hasn't done anything yet.
No, he's aligned himself with Andrade.
Yeah,
but that alone isn't enough to elevate you. So like, where do you exist in isolation?
Yeah.
If I become mates with Bret Hart, am I also a WWE legend? No.
Yeah. Are you the greatest there was? You know, the whole tire catchphrase.
the best there is, the best there was, the best.
Yeah, the best there ever will be. No, you're not. But again, so we move on to Chris Jericho of the Inner Circle, the Demogod, the Champion. So
we really need to discuss this one. Is this? No. I think this is just a.
I think that is the most easiest one we can do here. He's first AEW champ. He's had amazing matches over the past few weeks as well with his Labors of Jericho. Just to peel back the curtain on what we're doing, we are recording this the day after the fourth Labor of Jericho against Wardlow.
Which was great. It was so annoying because when they were like, oh yeah, here's your second Labor, Nick Cage in a death match. Like, bloody hell, what's String 4 going to be? Like,
I loved the Hoovy match.
Yeah.
I think
it was that top rope Judas effect.
Yeah.
Was perfect.
So he's got a career, overall, his 2021 career is 8-2. His overall career is 33, 11-1. But it's Chris Jericho. You can't not put him in the top.
No, he's a legend.
Exactly. Exactly that. Which we move on to another legend, Christian Cage. So he's got an overall record of 8-0. He hasn't even lost a match since he debuted at Revolution. His career, so his singles wins are 6-0. His tag team is 6-0 and 1-0. Sorry, and then his trio is 1-0. I before he even came to AEW, I loved Christian. I think he is very underrated, and the fact that he's now getting a chance to break away from the Edge stigma as well. Yeah. And I mean, he's challenging Kenny at Rampage for the Impact title, but he's also got the match against Kenny for the AEW title All Out. What's not to love about Christian?
He's so good. And again, when tag teams break up, one of them has to be Marty. Unfortunately, that was Christian. If you go back and watch his feud with Randy Orton, go back and watch that SummerSlam match. Or the if Orton gets disqualified, he loses the title match. And watch Christian just goad Randy Orton into getting disqualified. His technical work is great. His in-ring psychology is great. And I think he's also there to put guys over.
Yeah.
I think he's one of the guys that goes, okay, I'm in sort of like the slow down phase of my career now. I'm looking at retiring soon. Let me give back to the industry and make some guys look awesome.
Yeah.
And I think Christian and Kenny is going to be really, really surprising.
Especially because we're getting it twice as well. We're getting one on free TV and then we're getting one at pay-per-view. I mean, what's not to love about having two Christian versus Kenny Omega matches? I mean, what's not to love?
And they could weave them together. The one on free TV, I reckon Christian gets a bit complacent, a bit lazy, and then he goes, okay, I know what to expect now. And then I reckon Christian might get him.
My theory is for the Impact title, Christian's going to win the Impact title, and then this sends Kenny on like a psychological paranoia and all that, and then he unleashes hell at All Out.
Yeah, because Christian has a history with Impact as well, so it sort of makes sense to put it back on him.
He can have an Impact run, and that gives some other people a chance to build themselves up, like heat themselves up for a potential match with Kenny. You know, and you can. Jericho and Christian are very like similar because they're almost like on the wind down their career. I know Christian only come back for like he's only been back not even that long. He hasn't even been back a year. And he's probably going on a little bit of a retirement run. Don't know when, but he's there. As his shirt says, he's there to outwork everyone.
Yeah. I love that shirt.
My only complaint about Christian is he didn't have his WWE theme because I love that theme.
Oh, what one? The Close Your Eyes.
Yeah, Just Close Your Eyes. It is.
I saw it. What version do you prefer? Because there's the newer one, the Story of the Year one. Or there was also the Waterproof Blonde one.
I think it's the Story of the Year one I like the most. I'm going to double check on my Spotify because it is on my workout playlist.
Oh, then it's definitely the Story of the Year one.
Yeah, it's Story of the Year.
So much slower. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Story of the Year. So main eventer for Christian.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we move on to. I feel like this one's quite sad. Christopher Daniels.
Please don't make me put Christopher. Please don't make me put him in Jobber. I can't. I know he is, but I don't want to do it.
It's really sad because this one's quite sad because he hasn't been around since SCU lost to the Young Bucks, and then they were forced to break up. He just hasn't been around, and I don't want to do it, but he might have to.
We're going to have to because we can't. Because with other guys, we haven't taken in their previous work into account.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be like that triple threat at Unbreakable with AJ and Joe.
Yeah.
He is not a job. But I think we're going to have. I'm so sorry.
I think just to save us from the internet, we put lower mid carder just to save us from the internet. It's that one's the painful one.
Oh, mate, my soul is weeping. I'm so annoyed at myself. Did you know, fun fact, Christopher Daniels was the original plan for the higher power angle?
Yeah. But then Vince said he was too short.
Well, of course he did.
Of course he thought he did.
And then made Hornswoggle Cruiserweight champion.
Yeah. It's clear, it's WWE logic. That's what it is. You can't wrap your head around it. So we move on to Chuck Taylor of The Best Friends.
I love The Best Friends so much.
Yeah, I do as well. The run that they're on at the minute, I've loved it. This whole bringing Chris Statlander in, which we can get to when we talk about the women's roster. I love it. Chuck Taylor is awesome. The Best Friends are awesome.
Yeah, and like bringing their mum in was hilarious.
Yeah,
and then the way she interacted with Brody Lee and the Dark Order, and he was like, "Throw the paper at them! Throw the paper at them!"
And then she, it's just throw it again, and you can see Brody almost breaking as well.
Yeah, you can see everyone almost corpsing. It's just
so wholesome.
It was bloody adorable. is what it was. And we don't get enough sort of like Disney adorable in wrestling. And I think the best friends, it was them, wasn't it, that had that cracking parking lot brawl?
Yes, with Proud and Powerful.
Yes. That was horrendously violent.
Yes, but it was so good.
I'm from Croydon. That's just Saturday.
I'm from Milton Keynes, so it will happen, and I'll just find out about it 2 days later.
I had one of the best nights out of my life in Milton Keynes. Have you been to the Pink Panthers?
Pink Panthers, yeah.
Yeah. For those that don't know, Pink Panthers is a bar that has its own kebab shop, like, on site. That's how good it is.
It is. So we move. I think we should put Chuck Taylor in mid-carder for now.
Ooh,
or potential main eventer.
I was thinking potential main eventer.
I'm not going to argue with you with that one. So we move on to Cody Rhodes. People that don't know, I put a video out straight after. Well, it wasn't straight after, but it was about a month after the the Double or Nothing match. I went on a bit of a rant about Cody and how he has more plot armor and Batman. Just go watch the video. It'll be in the icon, like the eye bit. Just go watch me absolutely rag on him for about 5 minutes. But
it was essentially like for the first 3 minutes, I was like, okay, he's telling us what he thinks, and the next 7 minutes are just therapy, aren't they? They're just you venting to everyone and anyone that will help you process
it was
how
just
you're feeling at that time. I've never seen you that angry. Never.
I don't get angry. There's a few things that get me angry. So if you watched that video then?
Oh
did you get?
I loved it. I nearly tweeted you after going, so Cody. I'm thinking him.
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah, I had to get it off my chest. That was one of the things that I had to get off my chest. But I can't deny the fact that Cody is a really good talent. I do like Cody Rhodes, but that was just the final straw for me.
Yeah.
That was the thing that broke the camel's back. It was how can you bring someone in like Anthony Ogogo and just
do that to him?
You didn't even beat him with the Crossroads either. He beat him with the Vertebreaker.
Yeah.
But again,
the only reason, like booking wise, I can find that Cody beat him was because America.
Yeah, it's plot armor because he had that whole video package, and I watched it live, and I'm like, I had one of my predictions titles up on the line, and I'm like, he's gonna win this here. He's gonna win it now.
America.
It is, but again, I love the fact that he lost to Malachi Black.
Yeah.
In such a dominant fashion. It was absolutely beautiful.
I love it. But here's the thing. If we're gonna look at that AEW work, and because he can't challenge for the AEW title, where do we put him? Because he can't potentially main event.
Yeah.
Can he? And no. I don't want to piss off MJF. Because he will find us.
Yeah. God. Good grief. I would say top of mid card.
Yeah.
You have to, because he's handicapped himself by not being able to challenge for the AEW title.
Yeah.
But there is a potential for him to come back, turn heel, and go, "Oh, I'm going back on that promise. I want the AEW title." There is a potential thing for that, but I think he's too nice.
No, I quite like to see Bastard Cody.
I would
I'm
like
not
to
that
see
now.
Bastard Cody because it just like it kind of like justifies why he's a dickhead.
Yeah. And proves your video right.
Exactly.
It's the I told you
Exactly.
so moment you're waiting for.
Exactly that. Exactly that. It's the that
How have we
was.
made Cody Rhodes' career all about you? I don't know how we got. I don't know how we got there.
I mean, he makes everyone else's career about everyone else. So why not let us make his career about me? You know?
Yeah, Cody. Yeah, Cody.
Yeah, Cody. God, step to me, see what happens. Come on. Oh, so we move on to again, like I said, go watch that video. I enjoy the hell of a time editing that and ranting about him and trying to make sure that I didn't swear either. So I had to put the bleeps in. But yeah, I enjoyed the hell out of that. That was a good day of videoing and recording and editing, and it was just Again, go watch it. I'll put it in. I'll put it in the link. I'll retweet it on my Twitter and the channel's Twitter as well. But
this is a really bad advert for Cody Rhodes, but a really good advert for mental health. At this point, can we move on from Cody Rhodes before we say something slanderous?
yes, right. Let's move on to let's move on to Colt Cabana. I absolutely love what he's been doing. It's very limited of what he's been doing. He's been on Dark, been on Elevation, he's been on Dynamite as well, probably in a manager capacity most of the time because the main guys were Hangman, Silver and Reynolds, and then Evil Uno and Stu Grayson. But he plays his role to perfection.
He's so good. He knows exactly what he's doing. And they haven't overexposed him.
No.
They've kept my demand for Colt Cabana up by limiting the supply.
Yeah.
And whenever he's not there, I'm secretly disappointed.
Yeah.
I hide it because I have a girlfriend that is not above mockery. So I'm always secretly upset when he's not there.
Just gonna, I think I might have missed a few people off. Don't know what it was, but yeah, I love Colt Cabana. I think he's hilarious. He's just so funny,
and he gets the balance right. He doesn't overdo it.
He goes from the serious to the exactly. He goes from the serious to the comedic. You can do it in a flash, but he's got his 2021 career is 17-5. His overall career is 33-16. I just want to see him on Dynamite a bit more.
Yeah. Because at the moment, I think he's a mid card. I think if we put him on Dynamite more, he'll potentially be able to main event.
So, do we put him top of mid card, or do we put him below Cody?
I think we have to put him, and please don't kill me, I think we do need to put him below Cody.
Yeah. I agree on that, because they don't really do much with him. So, for some reason, I haven't got Colton Gunn on here. I remember getting his picture up, but I don't have Colton Gunn on here for some reason. I believe he's in the same place as his brother.
Yeah, I agree.
So, it's, he's charismatic as hell because, I mean, look at his dad, and he doesn't look like a typical Gunn, if that makes sense, because Billy Gunn is jacked.
Yeah.
Austin Gunn is also jacked, but Colton Gunn kind of like bucks the trend.
But he's lean though, if you look at it. He's got like a different kind of muscle structure.
Yes. So,
and I reckon, and he can go for days. I reckon the other two would get gassed quite quickly and couldn't do the sort of like the half an hour kind of Hangman Page, Kenny Omega, Young Bucks style match.
Yeah.
I reckon Colton could.
Oh yeah, definitely. I reckon he could as well. So we move on to everyone's been talking about him literally for like the past 12 hours, ever since AEW Dynamite has come off the air. We're talking about Dante Martin of Top Flight. Oh my God, his hot tag last night.
I watched it live. I watched Quizmania, then I watched Dynamite. Very rarely, as a 36-year-old man with quite a deep voice, do I squeal with delight. I sounded like I squealed like a happy pig in poo at that hot tag. It was the coolest thing I've seen in quite a while.
Yeah, it was the backflip. So he used the the lower rope to like backflip over Kenny, and it was just insane.
It was delightful.
20 years old as well. He's 2 years younger than me, Adam, and he's doing that.
He could be my son. Like, that's how young he is.
It's absolutely insane.
I reckon mid-card now, so this time next year, if he hasn't had a good single feud with Pac, I'll be very upset.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%. I agree with you on that. So we move on to Darby Allin.
I worry about Darby Allin.
I do too.
Whenever he wrestles, I'm like, this could be your last match.
I'm scared for his safety.
Yeah. It's like, it's to the point where I want all his mates to write a letter for him and read it out loud with him in the room.
Yeah, it's like an intervention. Just have him. Yeah. I'm sorry, Darby, we love you, but you need to stop doing this.
Like he's just thrown off the stage in a body bag. I'm like, that like.
He got thrown down the stairs as well, and it's just.
And I understand. Like, I also commit to my art. Yeah. So how if I get into a kind of this character needs to be thrown down some stairs in a body bag, and then maybe dropped to a coffin with another human in it off the scaffold, and I'll be like, oh, and how are we going to do that with special effects and all that jazz? Oh, we're not. I'd be like,
we're not. It's just, and he's also going to be in Jackass 4.
Yes, he is in Jackass Goes 4.
Yeah, he's in the new he's going to be in the new Jackass film. I'm like, that's a perfect fit for you, but just don't die.
Yes, please don't die. But with all that being said, even though I'm trying to sound noble and be like, oh, I worry about him, I bloody love watching him.
Oh yeah, I do too. Like, he's insane. He's absolutely insane. It's
when he went to do that coffin drop through the coffin in that casting match, I was the first person to stand up and go, do it.
Yeah. So I say potential main event for him.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna quickly stop recording for a second, just because.
Water in me.
Go for it. So moving on to Darius Martin, his Dante Martin's brother. He's been out with an injury at the minute, so he hasn't been able. Unfortunately, I don't have a picture of him because, again, I don't know what's happening with my laptop. It's just been a pain in the ass. But I believe he's lower mid-card because we haven't seen a lot of him.
Yeah, that's right. I haven't seen enough of him to get a good enough gauge
Yeah.
on what he can really, really do.
And unfortunately,
He works there. He's one of the guys where the most definitive thing I can say about him is he works there.
and unfortunately, because of his injury, he hasn't been able to do what he can.
No, and it's sad.
Yeah, it is sad. So yeah, lower mid card for Darius Martin. So we move on to Dax Harwood. I'm just going to straight up put him in the main event.
Yeah, main event.
Yeah.
Main event. Hates Louis Dangoor. Gets my vote.
I absolutely I love some of the interactions that they have on Twitter. It kills me.
So, and then Ethan Page will weigh in and be like, "I thought I was in your favorite tag."
Yeah. It's just
that's so. Louis Dangoor cannot work Twitter, can he?
No, Louis Dangoor gets a lot of stick. I want to get him on here at some point, and I just want to talk to him like just regularly. Just like, so how many more bad takes have you got?
I'm assuming you've seen the Orange Cassidy video.
Yeah. Oh, I was dying.
Oh, it was so good.
And he was like Lewis Danger, and it's just like, I just think that's enough characters.
Yeah.
Too many characters, and it was just
Oh. That was a long tweet. You got buried by a man that can't be bothered to bury him.
Yeah, exactly. But he's also, and then Louis also come out and gone, I've seen the light. No, you've just been called out on it.
I think Louis is being a little bit facetious there. I think he's sort of like playing up to it a lot. I love it.
So, I do too. I gave him a lot of shtick to begin with, but I think he's awesome. The Matt stuff that he's been doing for his very young age as well. I mean, he's 20 and he's working for Give Me Sport. Like, he's done so well for himself. Louis, if you're watching this, because I know you are watching this, you're awesome.
I am a fangirl of the Dangor.
So we move on to Dustin Rhodes. So he has had his overall record this year is 8-1. His career record is 29-11. He's got a singles record of 3-0, a tag team record of 2-0, and a trios record of 3-1. That's only this year. I like Dustin Rhodes.
I like him a lot.
If we're going to put his AEW career in a vacuum, I would say mid-carder.
I would put him slightly higher in potential main eventer, simply because the Dustin Cody match is sublime. Psychologically, it's a perfect match.
Yeah, it is probably one of the better matches in AEW's very small history.
And the amount of colour in it is ridiculous.
And that's not just from his face paint either.
No.
So, potential main eventer for him. So, we move on to one of the guys that I didn't know about until he joined AEW. Eddie Kingston.
How do you not know about the glorious, angry New York tyrant that is Eddie Kingston? He is everything that's right and everything that's wrong and everything that's amazing all at once. I love him. He's a main eventer. But also he went up a lot in people's estimation. Have you seen the locker room speech he gave?
Yes.
Brody Lee.
After the Brody Lee,
Yeah.
I think he has the potential to be because this is I feel like Eddie Kingston's been waiting for this big break, and this is finally his big break.
Yeah.
And I think he's awesome. I've read up on some of his stuff in career, like one of his promos that he did in Evolve, where he was just like beating the shit out of Ilya Dragunov while he was cutting a promo. I've watched some of his stuff, and he goes, and I do love the fact that he goes, "This is not sports entertainment. This is sport," and it's just awesome to see.
His militant protection of kayfabe, I greatly respect. And if AEW don't put him over at that New York, imagine if he wins the TNT title off Rusev in New York. How mental that pop's going to be.
That crowd will go insane.
It will be, no, I reckon that will be a louder pop than CM Punk in Chicago.
Yeah, because I reckon if he doesn't win, there'll be a riot.
Oh yeah. Oh, a literal riot.
Yeah.
As someone who knows New York well, if you piss it off,
Yeah. So Eddie Kingston main event. So all ego Ethan Page.
Love him, hates Louis. Like potential main eventer.
Yeah, potential. I believe that as well. Potential main eventer. He's had his career at the minute is 18-3. He was in the the Face of the Revolution ladder match. That's where he debuted. He's had tag team matches again. He's been tag teaming with Scorpio Sky. He's got, like I said, his overall record is 18-3. His singles record is 10-2, and then his tag team record is 8-1. I just think he's awesome.
He's great. I just love his shtick. It's not even a gimmick. He's just very good at being Ethan Page.
He oozes charisma.
Yes, he does. And it's just like, you annoy me so much at times, but by God, do I love you, Ethan Page.
It was when he did the Ego's Edge to Bear Bronson, and I was like, how are you getting that man up for basically a Razor's Edge, and then you've got to throw him as well? It's just insane.
Yeah, he's great. Love you, Ethan.
So we move on to Evil Uno of the Dark Order. He's got his overall 2021 record is 20-4. His career is 42-13. Singles record 1-1. Tag team record 6-1, and his trios record is 10-0. Yeah, he's 10-0.
Love him. Love his Twitch as well. He's hilarious.
He's been there. He's been there from the start as well.
He's one of the old guard, one of the OGs. No, he's either top mid card or bottom potential main event for me. I think he's a very strong guy.
I believe he's got himself in such phenomenal shape as well. If you remember when he debuted at Double or Nothing 2019, and now look at him now. He's almost like a shell of his former self.
Oh yeah. Like started 2019, a little bit Pillsbury Doughboy. Kind of a little bit. I tried to get ready in 3 weeks and instantly regret it.
Yeah.
Whereas now he's ripped.
I believe he's top and mid card.
Yeah.
Because it's just he's awesome. Absolutely awesome.
Anything to knock Cody down, right?
Yeah. Cody, I know you're watching this. Go watch my video and then come back to me and see what happens, yeah? Oh.
Hi, Cody.
Adam Pearson is just there as your special guest referee for this like rap battle as I roast him. So we move on to Frankie Kazarian. Singles record currently is 7-2. His tag team record is 13-1, and his trios record is 0-1. His overall career record is 49-25. He's been there since the beginning. He's one of those guys that has been in AEW since the beginning. We're talking about his AEW career. He's the first ever AEW tag team champ. He's a hell of a talent. I'm enjoying his Elite Hunter gimmick that he's doing right now, but he does need to win some more.
He does.
I feel like he needs to win a bit more. But I can see him really in mid card, but not so second in mid card.
Yeah, I go with that. He's certainly above his former partner Daniels.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I know, I hate you saying that.
Yeah, I do as well, because he's had such a career outside of it. So we move on to Griff Garrison of the Varsity Blondes. I feel like Griff Garrison is the Jannetty of Varsity Blondes.
He is.
Unfortunately. But he's so good. He's so charismatic as well. Do you watch the Sammy vlog?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's very good with comedic timing on there. He's a really good talent as well, because he was originally brought in as an enhancement talent, but now he's been signed and all that. He's racked up the wins. They've had a few tag title matches as well. They're building the Varsity Blondes up to be that potential threat for whoever's the tag team champs.
Yeah,
I feel.
And like you say, like solid guy, charismatic, and yeah, I think mid card.
Yeah, I'd say he's above. No, he's below Pillman.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna move Darius up a little bit more.
Yeah.
There we go. Let's move Darius up. So we move on to Hangman Adam Page. Main event for me.
Yeah, so there, and it sort of happened out of nowhere, because at the start I found him really boring, and then he sort of became this sort of like taking it easy, drinking a bit more than maybe he should. Sort of became like a party boy. The first Stadium Stampede, when he and Jake Hagar just were both sitting at the bar drinking, and then went, suppose we should fight, shouldn't we? Yeah.
It's the start. It almost. I'm not going to compare him to Stone Cold, but he's the drinking element is kind of like. Is that? How do I put it? The drinking side of his gimmick is not like Stone Cold, where he would drink to celebrate. I feel like Hangman's one is there to drink to forget.
Yeah.
Like to forget his past mistakes, and it's a hell of a character for him.
I really like it, and I love the bottle shot Lariat.
It's an absolutely phenomenal finisher. I enjoy
size should not be able to do that.
I enjoyed it as well when him and Omega were teaming, and they did they called it the last call, didn't they? The bug shot V-trigger combo. I think that was awesome. But yeah, so many good storytelling as well with Hangman.
I'm rooting for him. I'm like so behind him because the storytelling. I'm like, come on, slightly taller Adam, do this for me.
But here's my question: Do you think he's going to beat Kenny at Full Gear?
No, I don't. I think sometimes we all need to be reminded that the bad guy can win.
Yeah.
And I think wrestling fans occasionally need a bit of a reality check. And to quote the Rolling Stones, you can't always get what you want.
So my mentality was they were going to have the match at All Out. He was going to lose at All Out. And then after that, they were going to do. So I don't know if you watched the booking video I did of how I booked CM Punk and Bryan Danielson's debuts. So my thinking was they were going to do a contract signing the week before All Out. So the Wednesday of All Out, they have a contract signing. They don't touch each other or anything like that. And then right as the lower third is coming in, you hear Carter personality, but he doesn't come out. We get to All Out. We have the Casino Battle Royal. We have CM Punk as the Joker. We have CM Punk and Jungle Boy face off. We have Jungle Boy have like hope spots. Is he going to do it for the second time? Is he going to be beating Kenny? He doesn't. He gets hit by the GTS, gets knocked out, and thrown out. He wins the Battle Royal. We move on to the main event. We have this big emotional match. Hangman doesn't kick out the One-Winged Angel at all. Kenny wins clean. And then after the fact, he's holding up the title, and it's just like the case of a realization of, oh, I've got Punk next, and he walks out, and that's how we end All Out. And then, on a Dynamite special, we have Punk versus Omega. Punk doesn't win because I'm not expecting Punk to win straight out of the gate. Oh. I think if you're going to hold it off, you hold it off for at least a year and a half before he wins the AEW title. And
Punk
then
is good at chasing. Punk's a better chaser.
And you build Hangman up. You've got that time between All Out and Full Gear to build him back up, and then at Full Gear, he beats Kenny. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of how I would have done it. But yeah, my full video on it is on the channel. If you want to go, if anyone wants to go watch it, it'll be in the eye thing.
It will.
Yeah.
Go there.
Yeah, go in the eye thing, or go scroll through the channel. Like it'll be there. So we move on to. I went off a bit of a tangent there. We move on to Isaiah Cassidy of Private Party. How do I put it? When he's getting attacked, he's hilarious. Because you can hear like all these little screams and all that. Like it's just as he goes down or he gets hit by a flapjack or something like that, and it's just hilarious.
He sells like a schoolgirl, doesn't he?
Yeah. I feel like this is one of the harder ones, because we always say that there's a distinction. There's clearly the Shawn, there's clearly the Michaels. I don't think there is within Private Party. Or do you disagree?
I like them both.
Yeah.
And they both do their thing well. So also where do they sit in the grand scheme of things amongst a company that has a stacked tag division?
I feel like they've been lost in the shuffle.
I do too.
personally, I feel like they've been in. I feel like Private Party have been lost in the shuffle. I can see him, unfortunately, lower mid card. I think both of them.
Agree.
Let's put Isaiah Cassidy and Mark Quinn as well. Where is he gone? There he is. In lower. It's unfortunate, but it is.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
As we said at the top, not everyone can main event.
Yeah, exactly. Not everyone can be a main eventer. And unfortunately for Private Party, I feel like they need to break away from Hardy Family Office now.
Yeah.
I feel like they need to go do their own thing. They've had the time with Hardy now. I feel like it's time to break away, become turn face again, and then build them back up. Like they get wins on Dark, Elevation, Rampage before going on to Dynamite.
Yeah, completely. I don't like the Hardy family at all.
It's just I don't understand it. It's a bit iffy for me.
Yeah.
I'd much prefer Matt to do. I'd prefer Matt to do some more like the delete broken gimmick than what he's doing now. Unfortunately.
Yeah, me too.
So we move on to Jack Evans of Hybrid 2. It's
definitely top of the mid card.
Yeah. But is he above Eva Luno?
No.
Is he above Frankie Kazarian?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So we'll put him second in the mid card. He's a hell of a talent as well. It's just unfortunate that they're not put on TV as much as I feel like they should be.
Well, hopefully with Rampage, that will start to happen.
Mm. So we move on to Jake Hager of the Inner Circle. I've enjoyed what he's been doing so far.
Yeah, me too.
I do like the fact that it's not the "we the people" gimmick again. It's something different. He's brought his MMA background in, and he had that MMA match against Wardlow, which I thoroughly enjoyed.
No, me too. I like that they shot "we the people" down really early on.
Yeah.
Even in the promo, Chris Jericho was like, "That was dumb creative by dumb people, and it's dead." And the crowd went, "Fair enough."
Yeah, fair enough. We'll stop doing it now. I enjoy it. I'd like to see him a bit more. But again,
but then he's got to balance it with the MMA thing, and he doesn't want to get injured. I think is the reason there.
And again, you can't have it all as well.
No, and again, you keep him special by using him sparingly. But I certainly would put him down the bottom of potential main eventer.
Bottom of potential main eventer.
Yeah, is what I.
If he could cut a decent promo, he would probably be a bit higher.
Oh yeah, but he was never good on the mic.
No. So we move on to Joey Janela. I'm gonna put I enjoy Joey Janela, but he doesn't do enough on TV.
No, and sometimes I think the gimmick and the mythos become bigger than the man.
Yeah.
And I think he's overrated. I really think Joey Janela's overrated.
I kind of want to put him in jobber. Just because we don't see enough. I just feel like we don't see enough of him. But in that sense, we put Chavo in lower mid card. So
yeah, I put him in lower mid with Chavo.
Yeah. just above Chavo because obviously we've seen him on TV. So we move on to John Silver. I'm going to put him straight in. Potential main eventer. Third potential main eventer.
Yeah. No quandaries.
Yeah, great. He is clearly the Shawn Michaels of that team, unfortunately. John Silver is absolutely insane at what he can do. For a little guy as well, he's not even that tall. But he's jacked as well. It's a perfect blend, should we say.
I love him.
Perfect blend of power and, absolutely insane talent. We move on to John Moxley, probably one of the easiest ones we've got here, top of main event.
Main event, yeah.
What can we say about John Moxley? I mean,
John Moxley is what Dean Ambrose should always have been.
Yeah. Exactly what we should have had.
Yeah.
But we didn't get.
Should have been happening instead of making friends with bloody potted plants or going on this stupid hypochondriac, your city's filthy route. Yeah. This is what you should have let him do from the word go.
100%. That's what you should have done from the word go, is give him everything. But there you go. So we move on to Jungle Boy. I believe he is top of potential main eventer.
I would wholeheartedly agree.
He's the first one to ever get 50 wins in AEW. Probably doesn't mean much, but it's still, how can you not put Jungle Boy over? I think he's awesome, absolutely awesome. And if he was ever to break away from the Jurassic Express, I think he could have a hell of a career.
I don't want him to ever break away. I want him and Luchasaurus to stay together forever.
I don't want him to break away, but you always see the potential of a breakup. You know, Jurassic Express is like the New Day in WWE. You never want to see them break up.
If it does happen, I'll be very sad.
Oh yeah, 100%. So we move on to Kenny Omega. The easiest one here. Main event. I've actually been enjoying what he's been. I've enjoyed his heel character. I mean,
I like it, and the reason I like it is it works. Every time he's on screen, I'm like, God, I hate you. Yeah, I hate you so much.
But you're supposed to.
That's the point. It's not the same way I hate the Young Bucks. We'll get onto that later. I genuinely dislike him. And then whenever freaking Tully Blanchard talks, I'm like, shut up, you old man. Yeah. Just get an actual wrestler out here. I'm genuinely steaming when he's on the screen. And I'm like, he's working me so well.
So let's move on to Kip Sabian. Unfortunately, he's out with an injury at the minute. But he has the potential to come back and instantly feud with Miro. Unfortunately,
great in the upper echelon.
Yeah, I believe I want to see a bit more from. I've always wanted to see a bit more from Kip Sabian because he's a flippy. It's not British bias, but it is a little bit of British bias. Because I like to see British people thrive.
Yeah, same.
And yeah, I want to say second in lower mid carder. Just want to see a bit more from him.
Yeah, I got that.
So we move on to Murder Hot Monster, Everybody Dies, Lance Archer, the current IWGP US Heavyweight Champion. I think Lance Archer plays a big man role so well. It's just awesome.
He gets it. Because I was a little bit kind of meh on him. And then I think it was 2018 or 2019.
Yeah.
He had that cracking G1 performance.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, who are you and what have you done with the real Lance Archer?
Yeah.
And
exactly.
So he's gone so far up in my estimation. And I have no problem putting him in potential main event.
I wholeheartedly agree with you there. I think he's above Andrade.
Yeah.
But I also kind of think Ogogo's above Andrade.
I can't get there. I think I gotta go on pretty fast. Let's do it.
So we move on to Luchasaurus.
Hey!
I am going to put him straight in mid-carder.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah.
I would agree. He's sort of like the big guy out here in Jungle Boy.
Yeah.
But he's a bloody good mid-carder.
Mm-hmm. I think that now we've got our first potential, well, no, not first potential jobber. He is a jobber, Luther.
Yeah. Sorry, Luther.
I don't understand him. I just don't understand the gimmick. Marco Stunt.
Oh, this is a tricky one because he sits on the mid-card potential main event really nicely. So we can't put him in both, can we?
No. Marco Stunt does very well for a man his size.
Yeah, but if you put him with someone bigger, what does he do?
I want to see him go against Paul White.
Yeah, could he hang with Archer?
They've had a match. Him and Archer have actually had a match. I don't think he could hang with him, but it's...
Yeah, he's in a mid-card, isn't he? The more we talk about it.
Yeah, the more we talk about it, the more I'm going to... So we move on to Matt Hardy.
I'm over it. I'm so
just want to put top or lower mid-carder because I just want to see him do something else. Matt Jackson, I don't know why, for some reason, when I put these pictures in, not all the pictures come through and it's annoying me, but there you go. Matt Jackson, main event.
Matt Jackson.
Matt Jackson and Nick Jackson. We'll put both of them together because for some reason the picture didn't come up. It's been a pain in the rear end.
The young punks pissed me off. They started wearing headbands. It annoyed me. They grew beards. It annoyed me. And I'm like,
they're doing this basketball stick. It annoys me.
It's so annoying.
It is. Yeah, it's. I love the Young Bucks. I think they're awesome. I think what they're doing now, but they also make it like you want to hate them as well.
Yeah. So and again, we're being worked. They're meant to be annoying.
Yeah, exactly. We're being worked into a shoot. They're supposed to be annoying. So we move on to Matt Sydal.
Strong mid-card. Super strong mid-card guy.
I love Matt Sydal. I think he's awesome. Yeah. I enjoyed his WWE career. I've enjoyed what he's been doing in the AEW. I know when he come in as the Joker for that Casino Battle Royal, he botched the Shooting Star Press, but they made that into a story on Dark. But they made good out of a bad situation.
They absolutely did, and he was the recipient of the greatest RKO of all time.
Yes. Yeah. I also think as well, if they was to give him and his brother a chance at the tag titles, I could see them potentially winning the tag titles.
I'd love to see them versus the Bucks.
So we move on to someone is quite controversial at the minute, Max Caster.
I don't want to dwell too much on the controversy. He said what he said, and it had consequences. Is my hard line there. I think he's in the middle of the mid card at the moment. Well, at the moment, but normally middle of the mid card.
I'd say that middle of the mid card. I would say that it's unfortunate for what's been going on. Unfortunate, but it is what it is. And it is what it is. But as long as AEW do the right thing for him, I am happy at the end of the day. He's a great talent, but his raps have been quite controversial.
They have.
So we move on to Michael Nakazawa. Michael Nakazawa can go in jobber.
He can.
I've never seen the appeal on Michael Nakazawa.
No.
It's the baby oil gimmick is not over with me, shall we say.
I'm not into it.
So we move on to God's favourite champion, Miro.
Potential main eventer, baby. I love Miro so much.
So he doesn't come and kill us both. Potential main eventer. Let's move.
And I love this Miro. I didn't like the sort of like nerdy arcade anarchy Miro, but now love this Miro.
Yeah. So let's move on to MJF, Maxwell, Jacob Freeman, main eventer.
Yeah. Please don't tweet about us.
MJF, if you're watching this, I put you in there, so shut up. Don't come at me. Also, Adam says hi. So this is the other thing as well. I put all these pictures in, and for some reason, some of them have not come up. But Mr. Brody Lee,
main eventer.
He's still on the roster page, which I think that's a very great move from AEW. And I agree, he is a main eventer. He didn't get his
cracking match with Moxley, cracking match with Cody.
Yeah. He oozed. It was kind of like prove himself and prove to WWE you fucked up.
Well, that was his opening promo, isn't it? When he joined when he was revealed as the Exalted One.
Yeah.
You won't be the last. You're not the first old man who didn't believe in me, but I'll make sure you're the last.
Yeah. You can't look at a talent like that and just turn around and say, "Oh, you're not good enough because you can't do a Southern accent."
That was ridiculous.
Yeah. So, for some reason, he's not come up on the pictures, even though I put a picture of him on this for the file. Malachi Black.
So good. The destruction of Cody Rhodes. I bet you loved it, didn't you? You were there going, yes.
Yeah. I was just like, it was a perfect way to debut him as well, because I was so worried that they were going to pull this pull this whole thing of Cody wins lol. I was so worried they were going to do that. I'm so glad they didn't.
It was so one-sided. Even it was like a squash. Even I was like, oh, okay, good for Cody and good for Malachi.
Yeah.
So yeah, I reckon he is at the bottom of main eventer.
Bottom of main eventer. I can agree with you on that because he can build himself up to challenge for Miro's title, challenge for the TNT title, challenge for the AEW title. You could see him do a lot of things, an absolute lot of things. So we move on to Nick Comoroto of the Factory. I kind of wanted to see a bit more from him, Nick Comoroto.
Yeah, me too.
He's a big guy. He's a good worker. His 2021 career is 13-6. Career wise, it's 13-10. But he's got potential to do something great. He's one of those guys because AEW needs some big men, and he is a big man.
Yes.
You know.
Oh, he hasn't done much though, has he? Like you said, we need to see more of him, and I think he's sort of lower mid at the moment, unfortunately.
Yeah. Lower mid card for Nick Comoroto. Again, like I said, the pictures haven't come up. Should have made sure before we started recording, all the pictures went in. But there you go. We're about an hour and a half into this. Not even that, probably about 2 hours into this. But again, we've already put the Young Bucks in the main event. I've put him with Matt Jackson. Yeah. Orange Cassidy, for some reason, I don't have a picture for him, like I said. But I could see him as potential main eventer.
He is potential main event. His Twitter game alone, that one tweet alone, potential main event.
The destruction of Louis Dangle puts him in potential main event. No, but yeah, Orange Cassidy gets his character.
And he gets it so well. Well.
That's the best thing about him is he gets his character. He doesn't take himself too seriously. And when he does get serious, you understand why. Like the main event, the triple threat at Double or Nothing.
It means something.
It meant something. Exactly. It absolutely meant something. So we move on to Ortiz of the Inner Circle. We can put Proud and Powerful together because for some reason I don't have a picture of Ortiz. Right, let's pull him up. Let's bring him up here. There we go. So
they're up in mid, aren't they? They're top of the mid. But then where did we put Private Party? No,
so we put Private
Party, the best friend.
We put best friend. We put Chucky T in potential main eventer. I believe Proud and Powerful could be potential main eventers.
Yeah, I can completely agree with you on that.
And above, I believe, but above Hager as a potential main eventer.
Yeah.
So we move on to now. For some reason, again, there is no picture for him. I don't know why. Bloody computer probably didn't even allow a lot of them. We talk about the Bastard Pack. Main event. Main
event. Not even British guys. He's just an amazing wrestler.
What is not to love about Pac?
That triple threat was like, oh, nice. I love that triple threat.
It was so good. Absolutely so. I enjoyed every second of that match. Every second of what they did. It was a beautiful match.
I could break up the submission, or I could just take out the referee.
Yeah.
What am I going to do?
So we move on to Paul White again. Like I said, no picture for him, but he hasn't done anything really. No, he's just a ring commentator.
Yeah, jobber.
Yeah, jobber for him. But again, he come out on Dynamite last night to save Tony Schiavone's son, which I enjoyed. I'd like to see him in the match.
Where's that going to go? Yeah.
I'd like to see him in the match just because I love. I think he's awesome. I think Paul White is, as the Big Show, he was great. And the fact that he got in such good shape as well now.
Oh yeah, so late on. He's the best big guy in wrestling history.
Mm-hmm. So we move on. We'll stick them together. The Lucha Bros.
Oh, main event. I don't know why we're. Yeah, just all of Death Triangle.
Yeah. Yeah, all of it. All that all day, definitely. It's a big main event list though. But again, we're talking about a lot of people here. Powerhouse Hobbs. I can see him in mid card.
Yeah, he's a strong mid card guy. Certainly top half.
Yeah, top half of mid card. He's a big man that AEW desperately needs some big men.
Yeah. Well, I can't put him as high as Cage.
No, I can't put him as high as Cage but I can see him as a potential main eventer. But I also see him as like the top of the mid card as well.
Yeah.
There's a gap. So we move on to 10 of the Dark Order. I thoroughly enjoy what 10 does.
Yeah, me too.
On BTE.
I love his work.
Yeah.
But where do we put him? This is so hard because I feel so mean because I love him, but at the same time, I can't put him.
I would say I want to say lower mid card because I want to see more of him.
Yeah.
Top of lower mid card. We'll put him there. He's in there because I haven't got a picture. Again, it's just so many people for some reason. It's just Peter Avalon. Sorry, mate, but you're a jobber.
Yeah.
QT Marshall, I'd say lower mid card.
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
I'd like to see more him. Really, yeah. I'd say actually let's put him a bottom, not bottom because Chavo's at the bottom. Let's put him just second to last at the bottom.
Yeah.
We've already talked about the Lucha Bros, their main event. Ricky Starks.
Oh.
Potential main eventer.
Yeah, seriously.
He is charismatic as hell.
And he's only like one good feud, and he's up there.
He's one good feud away from. Here's the thing: do we put him above his former Team Taz mate, Brian Cage?
No.
Is he above Darby Allin?
No.
Is he above Proud and Powerful?
I reckon so.
There we go. So, Sammy Guevara, top of the second, third potential main eventer.
Yeah, I'll go with that. Yeah.
He's one of those. He's one of those guys that are so entertaining. It's crazy for what he can do for his age. It's like Dante Martin and Darius Martin. It's crazy of what you can do, what those three can do for that age as well.
And he gets it, doesn't he?
Exactly. He gets it. Scorpio Sky. I
Ooh,
believe.
I am a fan. I'm gonna say potential main event, but
Mm,
about halfway down.
ha- um, do we stick him with Ethan Page?
Yeah, I think that's perfect.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So next up, we've got Sean Spears. I would
He
love to. I
came
would
in.
love to. I'd love to see some more from him.
Yeah, he came in with so much kind of promise and fanfare,
Yeah.
and he's delivered so little. And I
Mm,
don't see how we can put him anything beyond mid cards.
yeah. I'd say fourth in lower mid card.
Yeah,
I'd say because again, like we said, I just want to see more from him. We move on to Sonny Kiss. Sonny Kiss is a jobber.
is
I'm
a
sorry.
jobber.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but he is. Sting upper mid card right now.
Yeah, he's more there for support, isn't he?
Yeah, he's more there to support Darby Allin.
Yeah, he's going to get Darby over, but on his
Mm,
own, nah.
yeah. Butcher and the Blade.
Oh, I like them. Do I love them? I'm thinking mid card.
Yeah, mid card for the both of them. Unfortunate. Stu Grayson. Right. This is where we get complicated because I love Stu Grayson. I I believe both him and sorry, let me think. Both him and Evil Uno are again potential main eventers. I think we should move. I think we should move Evil Uno and Stu Grayson to potential main eventers.
You have convinced me, good sir.
It's just they fit together so well.
Yeah, I do. And
It's just
again, you can't force that kind of chemistry.
no, you can't. They were player Uno and player Uno and player two on the Indies, and they didn't come in and do that originally. But it's just I think they're awesome. Trent are the best friends.
Potential main event.
Yeah.
Again, based on the parking lot rule,
Mm.
I was just overly impressed.
We're sticking with Chuck Taylor.
And
And then we move. And then Wardlow.
oh, he's a big bastard, isn't he? That Wardlow.
This is my problem with Wardlow is he doesn't get enough credit. He doesn't get the wins. He gets put in these situations by MJF and doesn't get what he deserves.
He's fodder for MJF, isn't he?
Yeah. I believe he's top of mid card.
Yeah, I would be very happy to put him there. I think once this whole MJF thing runs its course, I think when he's on his own, I think he'll shoot right up there with the likes of Archer.
Yeah. So that's the men's roster. We've got a few more to go on the women's roster, but we can rattle through these. Abaddon.
Mid card. There, thereabouts.
Yeah, mid
Big set
card.
of hands.
Yeah. Bunny. Ali.
I like her. She's a lot of potential. I reckon in like a year's time, she'll be quite good.
I'd say top of mid card for her.
Yeah.
So that's for the women's. Anna Jay. She has come so far.
She has. She has. If you'd have asked her this a year ago, I'd have been like, stick her down there with kind of Sunny Kiss.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go top of mid card as well.
Top of mid card. Yeah, I agree. Anna Jay is awesome. Big Swole.
Oh,
I feel like she's
I know
lower.
a lot of people don't like her. I get her.
I do as well.
I think bottom of potential main eventer.
Potential main event. I can see that. I'd love to see more of her though. Brandy Rhodes. For some reason, she's on
Brandy
here.
Rhodes. How are you with Brandy Rhodes? Is it a Rhodes thing or?
I don't mind Brandy Rhodes. I don't.
I think
I'm not complaining because
I think she's all right in the Nightmare family, but I don't think
she has come a long way.
Yeah, but she needed to be fair.
Yeah, I think bottom of mid card.
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Which is not really her fault because she's pregnant and all that. So she's just had the baby and all that. So it's
exactly.
Britt Baker straight in the main event.
Main event, chuck her up there.
Emi Sakura. So this is she does all the Queen gimmick. So she's like the tribute to Queen and all that. She trained Hikaru Shida.
I love her. Partly because I'm a massive, massive Queen fan.
Yeah.
And she could do anything and I'd mark out for it. I think mid card.
I'd say above Brandy Rhodes in the mid card because
I think
feel like
the gimmick is stronger than the in-ring.
Hikaru Shida, I'm going to put straight in the main event because she held that title for so long. Not above Britt Baker because she's carried.
No, Britt Baker is amazing.
Jade Cargill, potential main eventer.
Yeah, I was thinking that as well. I'm a fan of Cargill. She puts the work in, and if you look at how she's improving, she's on a hell of a trajectory.
Yeah. Chris Statlander.
Love Statlander.
I do as well. Her Big Bang Theory finisher, her Area 451 finisher as well. I love everything about her alien gimmick. I love the fact that she's now part of the Best Friends. It just fits so well. It's just the fact that you've got three normal people and an alien, and Orange Cassidy's just like, oh, we have an alien now. It just works.
It's adorable and dangerous all at the same time, isn't it?
Top of potential main eventer for me.
Absolutely. Hell to the yes.
Leva Bates, sorry babe, but you're going in jobber. Or actually, I do like Leva Bates.
We'll move her up. We'll put her in the lower mid.
I'd say lower mid card, top of lower mid card. Layla Hirsch. She has come out of nowhere and she's made an impact.
When she turned up, I was like, okay, let's see where this goes. And I rolled my eyes a little bit. And then she got in the ring and I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And now she's number one contender for the NWA Women's Championship that she's challenging at NWA Empower against Camille, who is like 6'5", and it's the difference of height in. She could work really well with that because she's an amateur wrestler anyway.
Oh, she's gonna just go for the legs and slap submissions on. I think she's towards the lower middle of potential main event, in my opinion.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I would say I would say bottom of potential main eventer.
Yeah.
Yeah, around that ballpark. We move on to Nyla Rose. I'd have to say, ever since she's lost the AEW title, AEW Women's title, I feel like she's like bottom of, well, no, she's top of potential main eventer.
Yeah.
It's not her fault.
They just had nothing. Creative had nothing for you, right?
Yeah, exactly. Penelope Ford, I'd say her Northern Lights suplex is awesome. Hey, she has a ring presence as well. That match that she had against Akara Shida, I can't remember what pay-per-view, or Dynamite, but it was really good. She's improved a lot as well.
Good. She's got a hell of a bridge on that Northern Lights suplex.
I would say
I went just watching it. I'm like, wow! I'd get halfway there and snap like a twig.
Yeah, I would say bottom of potential main eventer.
Yeah, I agree.
Again, like we said, we could revisit this in like 6 months' time, and everything could have changed.
It could.
Red Velvet. Unfortunately, she is a mid-carder.
Yeah,
for me.
She is.
She's above.
She's a good one. She fills the role, stays at her hands, and does her job well.
Yeah, she's above Amadon, but she's Riho. I've never seen the appeal to Riho.
Technically, to watch, solid at hands, top of the mid card.
Yeah.
So much like you, I'm not. I'm not rooting against her, but I'm also not rooting for her, and I think that's part of the issue.
Serena Deeb, straight in main eventer for me.
Oh yeah, without doubt. I am terrified of. I've never been more scared of a woman I haven't met than I am of Serena Deeb.
So we've got Taya Conti. Taya Conti has gotten very far from what she was in NXT.
It's what happens when you let people do their thing.
Yeah.
I'm wicked impressed with Taya Conti. Wicked impressed.
I want to say top of potential main eventer for her.
I will go with you. Absolutely.
It's just she's so good, and when she finally goes for that title again, I want her to see it. I want her to win it. Thunder Rosa, I'm going to put straight in main eventer.
Yeah. Her and Britt Baker, just so good. I showed that match to my girlfriend. Thinking she'd hate it, and she loved it.
Finally, we've got Yuka Sakazaki. I enjoy what she does. But
I like her.
It's COVID. I feel like COVID has kind of like restricted some of these Japanese talents from coming over, and it's not their fault.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's not their fault.
I think she's a potential main eventer when she gets back.
Yeah. I'd say bottom of potential main eventer.
How stacked is the women's division in AEW?
I know.
Compared to like SmackDown.
Who's got like 6 people on them, which is sad. So that is it for all of them. Adam, I would like to again thank you for coming on and doing this. I have enjoyed this a hell of a lot. Again, like we said, we might even come back and revisit this in 6 months' time because everything can change.
It can.
Adam,
and it's always a pleasure talking to kind of like-minded wrestling fans and like doing this kind of thing. So thank you very much for having me.
Well, again, like I said, it's an honour to have you on.
If you're ever in London, we'll go get beer.
Oh, definitely, 100%. Tell the people what you've got going on, really. This will go out hopefully within the next week. So just tell the people what you've got going on.
Well, yeah, at the moment, I have a diversity and inclusion consultancy business where me and my team come in and look at your D&I training around disability and help streamline it. And we also have our own little training sessions that we can run. So that's that. The second series of my disability podcast, the Grumpy Gits, with me and three of my friends, Simon, Duncan, and Chris.
Yep.
That's up and running now, which is doing remarkable numbers there. And then I've got a few other little things happening in the background that I can't talk about yet. It will be very, very exciting when they do happen. So get me on Twitter, Adam_Pearson, and watch this space.
Yeah. Again, like I said, Adam, thank you very much for coming on. It's been an absolute pleasure and absolute honour for you to come on here and talk about wrestling. Again, guys, I've been Tyler Mumbles Woodward. You can follow me on Twitter at Tyler Woodward99. You can follow the channel's Twitter at LFS_YouTube. And guys, we'll see you on the next one.